What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with just kind of a real life ramble real quick. I wanted to kind of let everybody know what I've been up to, because I did vanish off of YouTube for a couple of months. Just real life stuff kind of getting in the way of things. And I've always said on here, this is a hobby for me. I don't do this to make money or put food on the table or anything. So whenever real life kind of gets kind of crazy, I'll step back a little bit maybe when I don't have time to make any videos. And there's a lot of things that have been going on that just basically have me not been in the mood at all to make videos up in here until recently, when I've had a little bit of extra time coming up around the holidays. It's just been a crazy year. 2023 has been a rough year just in general for me, just for a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. Also with the games I've been playing, it's like I just haven't really found anything I want to make content on. Most of the stuff with Raid is covered, and I'm at the point in the game where a lot of the videos I would make probably have already been done. A lot of you guys play the game are beyond the level of needing the help that I would provide. We've still got some free-to-play series stuff videos on the channel. A lot of people seem to still check out newer players, things like that. But I just don't feel like making that type of video anymore. And like I said, there's people that already make enough stuff to cover that. And the kind of niche off-the-wall videos I would make, I'm not sure it's worth investing the time in them, quite honestly, because it does take a good bit of time to put a video together. And that's something I've been very short on lately. A lot of the other games I play, Destiny 2 is kind of in a lull. There's not much to do with that. Overwatch 2 is not something I've ever made content for, because that's kind of my fun game I play. Mass Effect 3, I've been getting back into the multiplayer here lately, obviously, as you can tell from the gameplay here. We jumped back into that on in 7 Day, and just been kind of keeping up with it, trying to get some of our challenges done. But just really not a lot going on in games right now. None of the games I play are games I really would want to make content on. Final Fantasy 14 is another one where there's not a whole lot to make content on for that game that isn't already covered by just about everybody out there. So there's that's played into it. Also, I may have mentioned this when I made some of my last videos, but we had just really bad economy this year for work. Things at work got really bad during the summer, got really, really slow. We did have the threat of layoffs for a little while. Thankfully, nothing happened. We were able to get through it. It's starting to pick back up again, thankfully, at the end of the year. A lot of our clients are now coming back and spending some money. I do work in commercial real estate, so that, as some of you may know, that sector has taken a massive hit here in 2023, just with the way the economy has been, and people generally not wanting to spend money with the uncertainty going on in the world right now. It's been kind of crazy. So that was going through June and July, and August was kind of hoping I still had a job. I've also been on a bit of a fitness kick this year, so every day after work I'm going to the gym for about an hour and a half, get my cardio in. I got back into running a little bit. Just wanted to make sure I'm in shape for the upcoming ski season. So I've lost about 40 pounds this year, been killing it. It's been great. But that takes a lot of time every day, and that's time I used to use to make videos and play games. So there's another thing, which is kind of cut into things, is kind of prioritizing things. I am in my early 40s, and I'm at the point in my life where I've decided there's some things I want to enjoy later on in life, which are going to require me to be healthier. So my diet was always pretty good, but I've been slacking at the gym during the whole pandemic and everything. It was pretty lazy. I really quit going to the gym like I used to, but I'm back on it now, doing my cardio, doing everything. So, and if my boy ADH Ski is watching this, don't think I didn't see your preseason hype video for getting out there and shredding it this year coming up. I'm excited. I can't wait. I was hoping we get a little bit of snow here around Thanksgiving for at least the North Carolina mountains, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It's been in the 70s here like every day, and it's middle of November. It's about to be Thanksgiving, and we still just can't get any cold weather. So hopefully that changes. We'll get some snow, but things were going okay right now anyways. But so they were kind of tough over the summer. And then in September, one of my cats, I have two cats. One of them is 16 years old. He turned 16 this year. I've had him through basically three decades of my life. It's crazy. It's basically like my kid pretty much. But, I take pretty good care of both of them. They're spoiled rotten, of course. But he got diagnosed with hyperthyroidism because he was just eating, but he was losing a lot of weight. He was like a 14-pound cat. He's a very big cat, like big-bodied cat. He's always been a big guy. And he dropped down to like almost 10 pounds, and I was like, okay, something's going on. I got to take him to the vet. We had to do blood work and run a bunch of stuff. And I will say this, if any of you guys out there are younger and thinking about getting a pet, make sure you have money to take care of it. And I mean money put aside every month for emergencies, because especially when it gets later in their life, things get expensive. Blood work is like $300 or $400 every time you go to do it. It's more expensive than getting your own blood work done, which is kind of nuts. But so I had to get blood work done for him, and that was pretty expensive. And then they came back with a diagnosis that he had HT, and it was like, okay, what are the options? And we kind of went over the options with the vet, and they were like, well, you can put him on a special diet, you can get him this crazy like radioactive chemotherapy type thing that'll get rid of it, or they weren't sure if it would get rid of it, but that was the most expensive option. And then there was the option to put him on this medication, which was like a daily pill you have to give him, which can be kind of tough with animals. So they suggested trying the diet first. So the diet food was really expensive. All prescription food for animals is really expensive. So that was a bit of that month was pretty expensive just off of that. And, that meant I had to work a little bit more, but we tried the diet, and unfortunately he only ate the dry cat food, which wound up giving him a urinary tract infection, which for male cats can be fatal within hours. And it just happened to be lucky that I found him in the morning when I woke up, and he was like on the bathroom floor basically dying, which is pretty tough, because even though I know that's coming, I've been preparing for it for the last couple of years. Like, okay, he's getting up there in age. I know, like in cat years, he's like 90 some years old, so it's gonna happen. But he's been a very active, very happy cat for such a long time, so it's kind of shocking to see that. And of course, it was on a Sunday. The only place that was open was the emergency vet. Had to take him over there. They had to give him a catheter and clear out his blockage, and he had to stay there all day pretty much. So they could give him fluids on an IV, and that was very expensive because it's the emergency vet. And the next couple days after that was pretty dramatic, because we had to keep an eye on him, make sure he was okay, that he had gotten through it. He lost even more weight during that stage. He went down to like 7 pounds because he wasn't eating, and just it was really rough stretch there. So I also had a lot of drama with the emergency vet. It was Sunday morning, I rolled out of bed, I found the cat dying on the bathroom floor, and it's like, I literally got a pair of Crocs on and threw on a t-shirt, and I drove him over there. So they're looking at me, and it's, the emergency vet I had to take him to is about 3 miles down the road. It's in a very well-off area, and they're looking at me like, who's this hobo walking in here with this cat? Is he even going to be able to pay for this? And when they gave me the initial estimate, of course, I was half awake, half asleep, and it was a lot. It was 4 figures, a little higher, 4 figures. And I kind of did one of those, I'm like, damn, how, so they took that as like, oh, I didn't want to pay for it or something. But it was a very weird situation that we had with them, and they treated me really like I wasn't going to pay them or something. And I'm like, I can pay for it. It's not a problem. Just fix it. Do what you got to do. I'm at that point in life where it's like, just fix the problem and we'll get out of here. But so the next couple of days, we bounced back and forth, and then my vet, for some reason, they weren't able to remove the cat. Like, we had to get the catheter taken out. It had to stay in for a couple of days to make sure the blockage was clear, so I had to take him home. They wanted me to put him in the hospital overnight, but I'm like, I can take care of him. I'll stay up all night and watch him like a hawk, whereas at the hospital, there's no one there. They're just going to leave him in a cage overnight. I'm like, he's 16 years old. He doesn't do well at the vet anyways, because we've had problems with vets before that kind of hurt him because they were trying to handle him roughly. So I was like, I'll stay up with him all night. It's fine. He's fine. So that was a very rough 3 or 4 days. He made it through that, but he's never recovered from that to back how he used to be. He's been very lethargic. He lost a lot of weight, and we went through a pretty rough spot. I ended up having to find another vet after that, and we got him with a pretty good one now who monitors him. We talk like twice a week usually with that. So that was a pretty rough spot that we had to go through. And then at the same time, I also had to get my car fixed, which was like a lot of money because my car's about 10 years old. It's about to hit 100,000 miles. It's been a great car, but it's needed some general maintenance that wasn't so cheap. And so all that kind of hit me at once, and it was like, man, if I hadn't been working out and going to the gym during that time period, I'd have been super depressed because I just had to have an outlet for all the stuff that was going on, all the stress. And like I said, just didn't really want to make the videos or have time to do much during that period of time. So September, things did get a little better toward the end of the month. I got to go on a pretty cool trip up north to West Virginia, where I go 2 or 3 times a year, go hiking. It's Canaan Valley, West Virginia. It's a great spot. You're out in the middle of nowhere. There's no cell service, so I can just go up there and unplug. I get away from everything. And once I figured the cat was stable, at least enough, I went up there for about a week and just kind of vegged out. Went out in the mountains. I went hiking around. No cell phone. Nobody could get a hold of me. It was great. I'll throw some pictures up here. You guys can see a couple of shots from there. Also, where I go skiing in the wintertime a lot up there. So it was nice to get up there and just kind of relax. I really, in hindsight, probably should have just not gone on the trip because it was expensive. It usually is to stay overnight there. And I had to spend so much money that on the car and the cat stuff, it's like, you know, kind of irresponsible to be like, then, oh, let me go on vacation. But I just needed it. I needed to get away. Also got to get up to Pittsburgh and see some good friends there. So that was helpful. And then when I got back from that, it was car problems through October. My car was fine after I got all the general maintenance done. Drove really smoothly. Everything was good. And then on the way home, the check engine light came on. Car was running fine. I went to the AutoZone. They're like, you got a leaky gas cap. So I went online from Kia, bought a $15 gas cap, fixed it. They were like, well, it's just your car's so old, the stuff's wearing out on it. So that's fine, no big deal. Check engine light went off, drove the car for a week. Check engine light comes back on, take it over to AutoZone, and throws a code for the catalytic converter, which is like death sentence on certain cars. It's a very expensive repair. And I went over to the AutoZone again, got some catalytic converter cleaner. I'm pretty good with cars. I used to have like a tuner car that I took to car shows and worked on and fixed the engine up and stuff. So I kind of know my way around cars. I was like, let's try to clean it out. Let's spend $25 on some catalytic converter cleaner, run some gas cleaner, some other stuff through it, and see if that clears it up. That actually did turn off the check engine light for a couple days. The car was still running fine, but then the light came back on, so I went back to AutoZone. He's like, yeah, same code. So I went to a couple spots, got some estimates. It was pretty expensive to the point I was considering getting a new car, but right now the interest rates are terrible. I have really good credit. So I could have got dealer financing and gotten like 3%, which would have been awesome. But at the same time, I'm like, I really don't want to have a car payment. I haven't had a car payment in several years, and it's not something, especially in this economic climate, that I really wanted to get back into. So I just kind of bit the bullet. I went into my emergency fund again and got the car fixed. And thankfully found a local guy who, it wasn't cheap, but he did it about half as much as some of the other places were quoting me. Did a pretty good job on it. Car's running real good now. While he had it up there, he looked at it for me too, and he said, you know, the cat got damaged because the ignition coils were pretty much burning out, letting fuel get into it. So he was like, you probably need to replace those. He could have done it for me for like an extra $500, but I was like, I can get those on AutoZone for $200 and go ahead and replace the spark plugs and everything. So I did all that. That was a fun little weekend job that I got to do. But the car's running really good now. I got a 36,000 mile 3-year warranty on the new catalytic converter. So my hope now is I can drive the car for another year or two, save up enough cash to buy something else, or maybe finance it once these interest rates get better. But right now they're just really, really bad. So that was most of October, was just dealing with that, and it's just been one thing after another. And then the compressor on the fridge went out like right the week of Halloween. One of the thermostats went out in the house. It's like, it's been just constant expenses. And then we had to take the cat again he had to get blood work. But the new vet we got him with, they're doing like follow-ups every 3 weeks. We got him started on this new medication, which seems to be helping the HT. But you have to go get blood work done like once a month. So again, it's not cheap. And that's why I said earlier, if you have pets, make sure you got some money saved up, because you know, it's something you might have to worry about in the future. I got my other cat. She's 13. She's in really good health. She had a scare a couple of years ago where she had a skin infection that needed surgery, and she almost didn't make it through that. But she's fine. She's healthy. But now I'm thinking like, man, here we go. A couple of years with her, it's going to be the same thing. So got to get ready for that too, which sucks. But both cats are doing okay. And with the older cat, I just kind of at the point where it's like, you know, hopefully he'll make it through Christmas. We'll get another Christmas with him. We'll get another Thanksgiving with him. And we'll just try to give him the best life we can here toward the end, because he's just been having a lot of problems. And it's been really, like I said, it's like one of my kids. You know, had him for 16 years, long time. And it's just part of being a pet owner. You're going to have to deal with it eventually. So I think I'm at the point where it's like, when he does finally go, it's gonna suck, obviously. But I'm just glad I've had him for such a long time, and been able to enjoy his presence in my life. So that's good. That's the good thing. And now, like I said, things are looking up. November so far has been okay. I've had a little bit of extra time. That's why I've been able to make some videos. Schedule's getting a little bit easier. Things do quiet down a little bit at work around these next couple of weeks because we got Thanksgiving right into Christmas, so lots of time off. I've got like a week off for Thanksgiving, so I'm going to just chill out and just play a bunch of video games, eat a bunch of food, keep it up at the gym, hopefully, and try to stay away from any of the Black Friday shopping because I don't need to be spending money right now. It's been really, really rough here. And I'm hoping things do get better going into next year. And again, I don't want to complain much because I know everybody's having a tough time right now, but that's kind of where I've been, why I haven't been on YouTube as much. And like I said, there's just also not a lot of content. I really know what I want to make right now. So we get into ski season, I'll probably make a couple ski videos like I did last year. Kind of had some fun messing around with the GoPro. Hopefully this year I can make a little bit better stuff when I do that because I got a chest strap mount now for the camera, and if financially things were going a little bit better and I hadn't had to clean out my emergency fund this year, I probably would have bought an actual GoPro instead of the kind of cheap Korean knockoff I have, but it works pretty good. But I want to try to make some better ski videos this year and get out a couple of more times. One of my buddies went out to Colorado this week and wanted me to go with him, but like I said, with all the stuff that we've been having to spend money on last couple months, that just, again, it would have been pretty irresponsible to go do that. So hopefully we'll get in a couple trips up to North Carolina this year and West Virginia. We'll see what else happens. Hopefully this year will finish up and be pretty good. And we're just trying to hold on, get to 2024 and start another year. I'm sure things are going to be just as crazy, but that's what I've been up to. That's what I've been working on, dealing with here so far. So we're just trying to make it through every day, trying to have a little fun where we can. Fantasy football season at least is going. To get to go hang out with the guys on Sunday, talk a bunch of trash, and see who wins the game. My team's doing okay this year. I got to try to make the playoffs, maybe win some money, recoup some of these bills. So we'll see what happens. But that's what I've been up to, guys. So hopefully y'all are still doing okay. I don't expect to get many views because I've been gone for so long. The minuscule views I did get on videos probably is dried up completely, but that's fine. I'm kind of nearing a point in my life where it's really difficult to find extra time to make YouTube videos anyways. So again, it's just kind of a fun hobby on the page anytime we have a game that we wind up enjoying. I did mean to review the first Descendant beta. I did play that. It's kind of like an Anthem Warframe crossover type game, but I got the video footage. I played the beta for about 10 hours, and I had a bunch of stuff I was going to do. And then, like I said, all this crap started happening, and it just kind of took away all my time to do any of that. So maybe I'll still put that video out. I'll work on it. I still have the footage, but it's not very good. So maybe I'll give some thoughts on that, because I believe the game's coming out. It was going to come out in February, but I think they pushed it back. And it looked promising, but the gameplay was not the best from the beta I experienced anyways. It was kind of like, let's take all the worst things of Warframe and all the okay stuff from Anthem and just kind of make a weird game that didn't have very good paced combat or gunplay. So that was my thought on that anyways. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I've been rambling on for far too long, but that's kind of where I've been up to, where I've been. So hope things have been good with you guys. As always, appreciate anybody watching the videos, making comments. It's always cool to interact with the community. As always, hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.